Good morning, cadets. I welcome you back for the second class for the session 2021-22. As we have discussed in our previous video regarding the curriculum, we had a discussion on the curriculum for 21-22, and also I have shown you the blueprint, unit wise, chapter wise, how the weightages are there. So in this class we'll start with the revision tour Python, what we have studied in class 11th. Let us have a brush up what all the concepts we have gone through, and also we know that in revision tour 1 and revision tour 2 approximately around about 20 marks questions will be there in your class 12th board examination. So whatever thing you have learnt in class 11th is very important, and which acts as a foundation to go ahead with further concepts that are to be studied in class 12th. So without wasting much of our time, let us go straight away. The topics to be covered under this revision tour 1 are the introduction, the tokens, bare bones of Python, variables and assignment, input and output, data types, mutable and immutable types, what about the expressions, flow of control, and jump statement. Further, the sequences like strings, list, tuples, as well as the mapping dictionary we'll see in the revision tour 2, right? Now let us see as in introduction. As we know that it is created by Guido van Rossum, which is released in 1991, and the Python got its name from a BBC comedy series, Monty Python's Flying Circus. It is used to follow both procedural approach and object oriented approach. Okay, in procedural approach, as we know that there are two things. One is a procedure, another is a data on which the procedure is to be applied. Okay, in case of procedural approach, the importance is given to the procedure rather than data, whereas in object oriented approach, object means your data. In object oriented approach, popularly known as OOP, object oriented programming, here the importance will be given to data rather than procedure, and Python is such a popular language, it can be used both as a procedural language as well as object oriented language. It is available free to use. Python is based on our influence with two programming languages, the ABC language and Modula 3. Based on this, the Python is developed. What are the features of Python? It is easy to use object oriented language. The meaning of the object oriented language means the real world problems can be easily mapped using this Python language. Language is very expressive. It is interpreted language, because we have seen last year that what is the difference between an interpreter and a compiler. So it is an interpreted language. Remember, it is totally complete. It is a cross-platform language. The meaning of a cross-platform means the programming language or a program written in Python on one platform. Platform means your operating system, maybe Windows, maybe Linux, etc. The program written for one operating system can also be executed on the some other operating system. The operating system term called as a platform. Therefore, Python is known as cross-platform language. It is free and open source. Open source means freely available on net. Simply you can download and install it. And of course, it is used for variety of applications. Which one? Python. Some of the limitations, you can say, it is not a fast rate language. As compared to the C, Java languages, it is having lesser libraries. not strong on type binding. What is the meaning of this? The type means data type. Type means data type. What it says here? Not strong on type binding. So in some other languages, if a variable is declared as a particular data type, it cannot be what you can say, it cannot be converted into some other type, or your language just simply says that yes, this data type, the variable declared is of some other data type, but you are attempting to use it in some other way. That is what we call not strong on type binding, not easily convertible. That what we can say it, right? Now the major or the basic foundation of any language, that is what we call them as a tokens. What do you mean by token? In a passage of text, individual words and punctuation marks are called tokens. Another name is also a lexical units or lexical elements. The smallest individual unit in a program is known as token. The simplest definition of a token is the smallest individual unit in a program is known as token. So the types of tokens available in Python are keywords, identifiers, they are also called as variables, literals, they are also called as constants, operators, and of course punctuators. If you see a sample Python program in this picture, the code written is for I in range 1 to 10. If I modulus 2 is not equal to 0, print I. That is what the code is written. Now you can see here which are the keywords you can see. The keywords you can see are for is a keyword, in is a keyword, if is a keyword. Identifier I, here is also it is used, print I. You can use I, J, K is a user defined word, identifier. Okay. Literals means a constant which cannot be changed. 1 is a constant, 10 is a constant, 0 is a constant, therefore they are called as literals. Of course the operators, the modulus symbol, the not equal to symbol are examples of operators. What are these punctuators? Punctuator is a colon, you can see here, colon, comma, semicolon, single quote, double quote, these all are examples of punctuators. So you remember the keywords, identifiers, literals, operators and punctuators are the Python tokens. Now example of keywords. Keywords are the reserved words and have special meaning for Python interpreter. Every keyword is assigned a specific work and it can be used only for that purpose. Like in a dictionary, isn't it? If you find any word in your English dictionary, you will have a particular meaning. Means your dictionary know that word, therefore its meaning is explained there, defined there. Some certain words which you use in your day-to-day life, you may not find in the dictionary because it may not be universally accepted by all the regions, in all the countries, all the states. That's why it is not included in the dictionary. Such words are not keywords. A keyword means the moment if you find a word and if you find in the dictionary and its meaning, that is to be called as a keyword or a reserve word. The moment if you spell that particular word, the Python understands what it is because its meaning is already defined in the Python interpreter. Understood? Examples: and, while, or, if. These all we have used in class 11. Remember? Okay? From, not, elif, break, okay, continue, etc. These all are to be spelled as it is in small cases. Then only they are called as the keywords or reserved words. What are the identifier? In contrast, opposite to that, these are the names given to the different parts of a program called as a variables, objects, classes, functions, etc. At this point of time, you just understand what is exactly a variable. As you know that it keep on varying its value, which is not fixed. That is what we call it as a variable. Okay, and the identifier or variables, how we can form them, how we can define them, how we can declare them. There are certain rules. The rules to be followed while declaring an identifier. It is a long sequence of letters, digits. The first character must be letter or underscore. It is not required. Not necessarily the first character must be a letter or underscore. Okay, yes, the first character must be a letter, means in other words you can say that the first character should not be a digit. Upper and lower cases are different, that is case sensitive we call. The digits 0 to 9 are allowed except for first character, mean the identifier first character should not be a digit. It should not be a keyword. No special characters are allowed except underscore, and blank is not allowed while declaring an identifier because blank also comes under special characters. Understood? No special characters are allowed except underscore. So these are the formal rules that are to be followed while naming an identifier. You can see some of the examples of valid identifiers and invalid identifiers. You can understand grade pay written in small case except G and P. The entire grade pay is in capital. Underscore to underscore update, underscore is married, file underscore 12 underscore 2012, James 007, all are examples of valid identifiers. Let us see why these are invalid, where we are violating the rules to name the identifier. Now grade dash pay, it is a hyphen there between grade and pay, hyphen is there, it is invalid because hyphen is a special character which is not allowed. 12 underscore 2018 underscore file, this is wrong because your identifier is starting with a digit 1. Similarly, $James 007, okay, here dollar is a special character which is not allowed. Why if is not allowed? Can you think of it? Because it is a keyword, it is a reserved word. Roll number dot is not allowed. Why? Dot is a other than your digits, alphabets and your underscore, no other characters allowed. Therefore dot also comes under special characters. Why this roll number is invalid? Because between roll and number there is a blank. Blank is also considered as a special character which is used is there. Therefore it is also an example of invalid identifiers. Now comes to the literals or constants, what we call. The literals are data items. This question was asked in your examination in class 11th. Remember, what are literals? So literals are data items that have a fixed value which cannot be changed. It's having a fixed value which can be changed. That is what we call it as a literals. Python supports several kinds of literals. Let us see which are those. String literals, numeric literals, boolean literals, special literals as a none, and of course literal collections. Let us try to see these literals. Already we have studied in detail in class 11. Just will brush up these concepts. What is a string literal? It is a collection or a sequence of characters enclosed in a double or a single quotes. It can be either a single line string or a multi-line string. If it is in multi-line, we call it as a doc string. You remember. The single line string must terminate in one line. That is, the closing quotes should be on the same line as that of the opening quotes. Example of string literals you can see. The Python is written in quotes. Mogambo 1 2 3 4 5 6. Hello, how are you? At the symbol at, all are given in quotes. Between the quotes, example of a single line string literal. In Python, both single character or multiple characters enclosed in quotes such as SSBJ or SSBJ in single quotes. Both should be either double quotes or single quotes are treated as same. What is a multi-line string? You see, to store multi-line string, Python provides two ways. By adding a backslash at the end of the normal single or double quoted string. For example, name equal to 1/6 Mill Road, a slash is given here, continued Kanpur and quote completes here. Similarly, here the name 1/6 Mill Road, Kanpur is written in the same line, therefore slash was not required. In multiple lines, how we can type using a triple quotation. For example, address equal to triple quote, one line, second line, third line. Okay, this is called as a doc string. If you print the address will be printed in different lines here. Okay, so this is your first line address, second line and third line. Then if you print address, the entire thing will be printed in the by using a /n. Remember, single quote or double quote you can use in a single line, or else multiple lines if you want, take the help of slash, or else a triple quote at the beginning, and after number of lines the triple quote at the end can be used as a string literal. We had a detailed discussion about the escape sequence characters in the class 11th. Okay, you can see here, if you want to use a backslash, a slash and slash, you have to give a slash and single quote, slash and double quote, slash a, bell, it is audio, A for audio, B for backspace, N for new line, T for horizontal tab, R for carriage return means enter key. Similarly, hexadecimal 16-bit, hexadecimal 32-bit, vertical tab like slash T slash V, octal value 000. Now, even though there are two characters in this, so first of all you have to understand what is escape sequence characters. They are also called as a non-graphic characters. Our normal characters, as and when you type, it appears on the screen. That's why they are also graphical characters. The non-graphic of escape sequence characters, they don't appear on the screen even though if you type them, but they will have the effect, execution effect. Therefore, they are called as the escape characters or escape sequence characters. For example, in a Python statement, if you use a slash n in your statement, automatically the next content to be printed will go to the next line. So this is how the even though there are two characters, they will be treated as only one character. That is a speciality of escape characters. Now, based on the escape sequence, you can have a calculation here, size of a string. Python determines the size of a string as the count of characters in the string. For example, size of a string XYZ is 3 and welcome is 7. But if a string literal has an escape sequence contained in it, then make sure to count the escape sequence as one character. Example, you can see here, in double quote, two slashes are there, but size is 1. ABC, of course, 3. Slash CD, slash will not be considered as a character, so CB is 2. Mira, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 6, 7, 8, 9. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here no, this slash is not have any meaning here. If the slash appears at the beginning, like how it is appeared beginning here, how it appeared beginning, then it will be. Here Vicky is VICKY 5, quote 6, right? And yes is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, quote 6 and yes is 7. You can check this size using len function of a Python. If len of ABC and press enter, it will show the size as 3. You are already familiar with the len functions. What all there in numerical literals now? Okay, let us see the numerical literals. The numeric literals in Python can belong to any of the following numerical types: integer literals, okay, then floating point literals, and okay. Now here you can see integer, it contain at least one digit and must not contain decimal point. It may have plus or minus sign. Types of integer details are 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 50, plus 100. Example, octal, it starts from a symbol 0 followed by letter O. Remember, this is 0 and followed by letters O. For example, this is 10 is represented in octal 10. Octal 10 is nothing but decimal 8. Similarly, num 0010, print num, it will print 8. Hexadecimal, 0 followed by letter X. So F means it is 15 in the decimal. ABC is, if you convert it into decimal, it will be 2748. The floating point literals, also known as real literals. Real literals are numbers having fractional parts. It is represented in two forms: fractional form and exponent form. In fractional form, it is signed or unsigned with decimal point 12.0, minus 15.86, etc. In exponential part, it consists of two parts: mentesigned exponent 10.5 can be represented at 0.105 into 10 square. So 0.10 E02, where 0.105 is mantissa and 02 is exponent. The complex number literals in Python is made up of two floating points. An example, x equal to 1 plus 0j. So print x dot real comma x dot imaginary. So 1 is the real part and 0 is the imaginary part. Next, similarly, Boolean literals. A Boolean literals in Python is used to represent one of the two Boolean values, truth or false. Capital T and capital F, remember, these are only two values supported for Boolean literals. He is married, true. Type is married, it is a type of, type give the data type of the variable what you have used. Special literal, Python has one special literal called as none. It indicates absence of value. In other language it is known as null, which is also used to indicate the end of the list in Python. Salary none, type salary, none data type. Okay, today we would like to stop here and we will continue regarding the operators in our next class. Till then, bye bye.